You know, I hate typing on a little itsy bitsy teeny weeny tiny keyboard with my big fat fingers. It's hard for me to type because I'm somewhat clumsy on these little tiny keyboards. So that's probably one of the reasons why I do videos. So if I've embarrassed myself or I seem like a really silly person, like kind of just frivolous or nonsensical, or just I'm acting kind of in a strange way, um, that kind of behavior kind of reflects some of my upbringing as a child. So my parents were very kind of entertainment oriented people, you know, growing up around the Hollywood area in Southern California in the 60s and 70s. Um, Sort of affected me. I mean, that's kind of the reason why I have the room in here with all the videos on the wall, on all these bookshelves, because mostly movies have been a very influential factor in the shaping of my personality. Culturally, how I've been, how I've come across cultural venues, like, you know, going to the Renaissance Fair in the 80s a lot, late 70s, early 80s, and then um, my parents, they were always singing or performing somewhere for someone, and so my dad was always singing in the bathroom, and my parents would play the guitar together and sing, and then all of us kids, when we were youngsters, we used to sing as a group in the car when we were traveling places. So I think my parents, they still have a lot of nostalgia about that time period when I was growing up as a child. Um, Also, if you know anybody that's Catholic or that's very strict Catholic, or they're very influenced by the priests and the clergy and the nuns. They're very open to suggestions by these people that are clerical people that they carry a Bible and talk and wear a certain kind of style of clothing, and usually live in ornate older buildings in the centers of urban areas. Um, where am I going with this? I'm saying that religion and believing in God and following Jesus' teachings as best as one can. And with me, I went through a kind of a phase of my life where I was very emotional, and there was a lot of music. So I was singing with a bunch of group of people. We were singing a lot, going to like church events. We went to like an evangelical convention and going to see faith healers, and then people standing around blah 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 blahing like that. Just it's called speaking in tongues. And then they people would faint and fall down, and there was like people believed there's going to be a miracle that was going to happen. You know, magical powers from a supernatural. A woman was going to float down from the sky, or there was a bearded man in a white, you know, wearing a white Middle Eastern garments, coming out with a beard and long hair, with glowing. You know, like so it's an obsession with a personality. So it was really religion is a personality cult. So someone's a real vibrant, really intelligent, charismatic person that comes around, and everybody like follows that person. They listen to that person. They cling to every word that person says. Like somehow whatever that person says is going to help them in their future. So it's like having trust in somebody, even though you have faith, right? Faith is a stupid thing. It's actually turning off your intelligence and just being like, ugh, just accepting whatever. It's not just, you know, it's like, okay, there's a God there, and the God's going to take care of me. He's going to take care of everything. I'm not going to worry about anything anymore. So you have all this faith. You believe there's this God character, this God imagined being in your mind. You use your brain, and you imagine a being called God. And you fall down, oh God, you know, like this God's going to grant you eternity in a hyper blissful state. So you'll live in this like perfect paradise of just being as a being that's just a lot, that's just existing. It doesn't have a body, so but somehow you're going to have to exist, but you're not going to have a brain there that's going to help you to. So I mean, if you're a spirit, or you believe in a phantom, or you believe that your consciousness can exist independent of the physical cellular body that resides in. Somehow your actual consciousness can go outside of the physical body and leave the body and go somewhere else and then come back. Well, you can dream that. You can dream that you're Midas and everything you touch will turn to gold. You can dream that there's all these beautiful women around you if you're a guy, or beautiful men if you're a girl, or you can dream that you're an athlete and you're running and you're jumping off a cliff, and the next thing you know, you're walking down a hallway and everything changes, and you go down the hallway, open the door, and go inside, and there's a whole other scene, like Alice in Wonderland. So, yeah, of course, you can imagine while you're dreaming. You, as a dream person, can create the reality that you want while you're having a dream. So if you say, yeah, I left my body, I was flying around, that's great. If that's your imagined thing in your dream, that's fine for you. If you can like go underground, maybe go to the center of the earth, or go inside of a volcano, or go inside of a tree, go up to a tree and go inside of it and see what's inside, or do something like that, or walk through a wall, or I don't, and the other thing that bothers me about astral projection is that the Earth is moving, right? It's spinning, and the Earth itself is moving around the solar system, and the whole solar system is moving through space. Man, you're no longer, if you're in a spirit being and you don't no longer have any of the laws of nature, the rules of governing the physical world, if somehow you're in another reality, then you should be able to do things far more fantastic in your dreams than just wanting to leave your body and float around. And you're going to be flying around, you're going to have GPS while you're flying around, your GPS is telling you where to go, or so it's logical. There's some problems with the idea of astral projection, if you know